Look at her. Look at her. So good. Just died. I just twisted the throttle and it died. Overheated? Maybe something like that. Alright, we'll get going then so it's not so hot. Exhaust is on. And what does it sound like? Epicness. That's what it sounds like. Leo Vince Nero Black. Actually, I think I've noticed less power, because normally second gear wheelies just come right up. Okay, that was actually pretty good. I don't know, maybe I'm just tripping. Yeah, but when I put the exhaust on, I didn't really go for any gains of power, because I just wanted to make some noise. And that's kind of what I'm doing now, making some noise! Yeah, but the exhaust is one of many mods I wanted to do to it. I want to get an airbox on it, tune it. I think that's about all for power mods. Then I'm also going to set up some protection for it. It's going to be my mod out bike. It's going to be my building bike. I'm going to build it. But putting on this exhaust is a pain in the ass. But it sounds like that, so maybe it was worth it, I didn't think it would be that hard to put on a slip-on. I had to take off. I mean, it would have gone quick if I actually knew what went into it, but because there was like no videos on how to install this exhaust, I went into it pretty blind. But now I made a video, so now other people will know how to put on this exhaust, kind of, sort of. It said it required a graphite baffle, so that way the exhaust doesn't leak. And there wasn't one supplied with it, so I had to take it out of the original exhaust, and in doing that, it was like really hard to take out because it was so stuck in there. So I kind of like, you know, scratched up some of the graphite and took some pieces off, and then trying to put it into the new exhaust, I took more pieces off, and so it's like, it's still all together, and it's probably sealing just fine, but it's not pretty, and that does not feel right to do that. So I don't like that they didn't just give another graphite thing, the graphite baffle for this exhaust. So that in itself took like an hour to figure out, do I use this graphite exhaust, do I use this baffle? Do I not use any baffle at all? Do I have to order another baffle? Maybe it was supposed to come with a baffle and they just didn't give it to me. But once I figured out, I'll just use the stock baffle. It went faster, and I figured out like a way to put it on the bike so it wouldn't tear up so bad, and it worked out. And also, I've seen other people with this exhaust on, and the pictures show the bike has the stock blinkers on. Non-American 701 actually is a different blinker setup, so it might just be for the American 701 you can't have the stock blinkers on to have this exhaust, because otherwise the blinkers would be like moved out of the way and not, you know, straight across like they used to be. I did like the original blinkers. I didn't think they were awful. They just kind of were a little big, but at least they were like sharp and not like flopping around everywhere like Yamaha's would. So I didn't mind. I was going to keep them, but now I guess I have to either just go blinkerless, like I never really use blinkers anyways, or I'll buy an aftermarket thing. That'll clean up the tail a little more. But I actually don't mind how the tail looks right now. Well, no top end gains. Actually, I think I used to be able to do 120, and that was just 115. Maybe I lost some. I will put a new airbox on, a Rottweiler, and I will a Power Commander 5. But that'll be in the future, because I heard from the dudes at the dealership that I bought this from, they said, oh yeah, any slip-on, you shouldn't have to tune it or mess with anything. So hopefully that is the case, but it probably would be best to tune it. But I don't have the money for that. I love how it like kind of goes brrr, and then it goes brrrr, it goes brap. That's what it sounds like. It's the brap. I love out bridges because then they're for motorcycle and dirt bike traffic only. Sand. Yeah, but the exhaust, it goes brap, brap, brap. Let's see if we can get the downshift because those are my favorite parts. And it's also really nice to hear the bike now since this thing doesn't actually have a tachometer. So now I can tell what I'm doing with just the engine sound. I have to sit further back in the seat, that's the problem. Oh, that's the bad part of exhaust. They make you want to hear it. It's like, god damn it, paid almost $500 for it. I want to hear $500 of it. Wrapping up thoughts on the Leo Vince exhaust. It looks cool. It sounds cool. I kind of like gave it a lot of hate because of how hard it was to put on and because, you know, it didn't include the baffle. But I think if you know it's not going to include that and you know what you're doing and you install the exhaust, it's not that bad. Turn signals. If the turn signals could still stay on after putting on the exhaust and all the trouble I went through with it, I would have actually, I've been fine with it. I've been like, ah. But because I had to take the turn signals off and those can't stay on with this exhaust, then no. And because I was trying to put the exhaust on with the turn signal still on, as you can see right there, this tiny, tiny scratch in the carbon fiber. Yeah, I think it sounds cool. I like it. I'm gonna stick with it. I like the name at least. Italian, I think.